white watercolors back again. It's been several months since I've been able to shoot a YouTube, and this time I'm away from home. We're up at Mount Shasta, up in extreme North California, and I found a spot here that I look up at Mount Shasta. It still has some snow on it, and we're near the Mount Shasta Museum, and discovered a pretty good view of the mountain. I don't have everything I need from my home studio, so I'm here. This is my makeshift studio. I've got an old bucket we found that it's going to be my cabaret. My brushes, of course, and a small palette with not very many colors in it. I don't want to have to fool with a lot of colors. Not too many colors to deal with here anyway. The mountain is white and gray for the most part. Green trees and some raw sienna ground in the bottom. Add some nice light color to the composition. The sky is very blue, kind of a cerulean blue. I don't think I have a cerulean blue. There's some clouds cutting across the peak of the mountain. I'll try and get those in. To clamp this paper down so it doesn't curl. Ordinarily, I wet the back of it and then paint real rapidly on the front. But I'm not able to paint the back of it here because this is the tablet. Are watching and would like to paint plein air, outdoor painting, you'll find out you've got to improvise a lot. Like this old bucket I found somewhere, which is now my cabaret, where I brought my little three-legged stool, put an old blanket down here to put my brushes on, mix up some blue paint, get that clear water in the sky area. And then get some this is not a cerulean blue, which is what I would prefer, but do that Payne's Gray. There's a dark green hill about halfway up the mountain that cuts across the lower part of the mountain, and so I'm going to mix up a cool green and be across there. It's kind of a little blue cast to it. So I'm going to add a little blue in there. Have it in there. I'll make my own raw sienna. Yellow. A little bit of umber. And so that's going to come down. And that's going to make the foreground for contrast with the cool colors above. Later I'll come back and put some grass in. Now let's see, that should be dry up there. Putting in the mountain. Leaving the white of the paper where the snow is. Use the biggest brush you have for most things. If you use a small brush, it's very restrictive, and you get caught up in a lot of detail. I improvised an outdoor studio. Of course, I'm not at home. I'm not even on my deck or in my backyard. We're away from home, so to improvise a studio, I have this old 5-gallon can I found. I did bring a 3-legged stool to sit on, and I have an old blanket there to keep my brushes on. And whew, this is what happened. Now it seems I've got a spider on my painting. Anyway, so that's part of the fun of plein air painting, is improvising. You know, you make do with what you have or what you can borrow. Just look for a recreation area like a park or something where they have tables. That makes it much easier. Right across the road there is a little area where they have picnic tables. The view was not as good, so the view was much better here, but I had to improvise more here because I don't have a table to use. And the middle ground, there's a dark green middle ground that contrasts with much darker than the mountain. So I'm trying to get that to stand out. Okay. Now at this point, while I'm waiting for my foreground to dry, I've got a little sponge here. And I'm going to sponge out the clouds. They keep changing, so I'll put the clouds where I think they should be. Yeah, that works pretty good. I got something else in here that works even better than a sponge if I can find it. So I'm using it to lift out that cloud, but I'm leaving the peak. I don't want the cloud to take away from the peak. About right. I think that's about right. Okay, now we got the foreground. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to indicate the trees. And then after the trees, I'm going to be putting shadows into the foreground. Payne's gray. And yellow. Getting your hands on the color you want is always hard. And raw umber, cobalt blue, like I'm looking for a certain color, and why can't I find it? Good to have somebody that supports you, like Kevin. Okay. Squeeze out some Payne's gray there. Tree goes off the page. About this big broad brush. And over here we had some more cool. And then with the sponge you can sponge out a bit to give the tree some texture. Darker shadowy green. I think I want a tree there. Instead, I'm going to make it a shrub. Paint is pretty wet right now. I found a sunny spot. I'm going to set it here in the sun to dry before I do any more work. I have a huge face today with the trees. But it's pretty much finished. Well, I'm about 95% done with this. I'm not going to do any more right now. When I get home, I'll probably do a touch-up. I'll probably do a little bit more work on the trees. But outside of that, I'm not going to do much. And my daughter-in-law said this is beautiful, so whatever that means. Okay, until next time, this is Wayne White signing off.